morning, everyone, and welcome to our panel discussion. Today, we will be discussing the action of ghosting culture in online dating from a predicted outcome value or POV and perspective. As online dating continue to grow in popularity, new communication behavior have emerged. One of the most common and controversial behavior is ghosting, which occurs when a person suddenly stops communicating with someone without any explanation. To understand this situation, we will look at it through the predicted outcome value perspective, a communication theory that explains how people think about what might happen in the future before deciding whether to continue a relationship. Joining me today are Professor Kirtana, communication studies expert, Mira, a relationship and lifestyle influencer, Salwa, who has experience using online dating platform, and Kesa, a university student who will share a young adult perspective on this issue. So let's begin. Professor Kirtana, could you explain what the predicted outcome value perspective is and how it's related to ghosting in online dating?
So thank you to the moderator Dina for that question. So the predicted outcome value perspective suggests that people make decisions about relationships based on expectations of future outcomes. In simple terms, before investing more time and effort into a relationship, into a person, people often ask themselves questions like, is this relationship worth pursuing? Are we compatible? Will this person meet my expectations? Can I see a future with them? These are just some of the questions that people ask themselves. So based on the answer that they predict, they decide whether to continue or end the conversation. Now, in online dating, these judgments happen very quickly because interactions often begin through profiles, first impressions, text messages, and limited information. If someone predicts that the relationship withdraws from communicate, if someone predicts that the relationship is likely to succeed, then they will withdraw from the communication. Unfortunately, many people choose ghosting rather than openly expressing their feelings.
So ghosting can be seen as a result of someone's prediction that the relationship may not lead to positive outcome.
Exactly. While it may not always be the most respectful choice, the decision is often influenced by how people evaluate future possibilities.
So Mira, what from your experience as an influencer who discuss relationship online, why do you think ghosting has become so common?
I think technology plays a huge role. Dating apps provide endless opportunities to meet new people. With just a few swipes, user can connect with dozens of potential partners because there are so many options available. Some people become less emotionally invested in individual conversation. They may think, if this doesn't work out, I can simply move on to someone else. As a result, when they lose interest, they may choose to disappear instead of having a difficult conversation.
Do social media platform contribute to this behavior as well?
Definitely. Social media has made communication faster, but sometimes less personal. Many interaction happen behind screens, which reduce accountability. People don't have to witness the emotional rejection of the other person they are rejecting because of the distance. Ghosting can feel easier, even though it may be hurtful.
I completely agree with that. Technology creates a sense of anonymity. When individuals are not physically present, they may feel less obligated to explain their actions.
So Salwa, you used online dating platform before. Have you ever experienced ghosting?
Yes, I have. A few years ago, I met someone through a dating app. We communicate almost every day for several weeks. We share our hobbies, goals, and even discuss meeting in a person. Everything seemed to be going well. Then suddenly, the person stopped responding to my message. At first, I thought they were busy, but after several days, I realized they had completely disappeared.
So how did that make you feel?
Honestly, it was very confusing. The most painful part wasn't the rejection itself, it was the lack of explanation. I keep wondering whether I had said something wrong or whether there was something wrong with me. Without closure, it was difficult to move on actually.
Do you think many online daters experience the same emotion?
Absolutely. Many people feel confused, disappointed, and sometimes even insecure after being ghosting.
So Kesa, As a university student, what do you think motivate people to ghost others?
I think there are three reasons. So first, I would say many people want to avoid uncomfortable conversation by telling someone that you are no longer interested can be feel more awkward. Secondly, some individual they are fear of hurting the other people's feeling, so they choose to be silent instead. Thirdly, for the POV perspective of themselves, they may predict that continuing the relationship won't be giving any benefits, so they decided to be silent without giving any explanation.
Do you think ghosting is becoming normalized among young adults?
Unfortunately, yes, because many people have either ghosted themselves because it happened often nowadays. Some individuals begin to see it as a normal part of their lifestyle, especially in online dating apps. So, however, just because something is common doesn't mean it is healthy.
So, Professor Kirtana, what are the psychology effect of ghosting?
So ghosting can have significant emotional consequences. People who are ghosted often experience a range of things, ranging from confusion, anxiety, low self-esteem, feelings of rejection, and difficulty trusting future partners. Human beings naturally seek explanations. When communication suddenly ends without closure, people tend to create their own explanations, which are often negative.
I completely agree. As an influencer myself, I receive many messages from followers who have experienced ghosting. Some of them spend weeks or even months wondering what happened. Many say that they would have preferred an honest rejection rather than complete silence.
That's true. Being told I'm not interested may hurt for a short time, but not knowing why someone disappeared can stay in your mind for much longer.
So, this brings us to an important question. Is ghosting ever acceptable? Mira, what do you think?
I think there are certain situations where ghosting may be necessary. For example, if someone is being harassed, manipulated, threatened, or made to feel unsafe, ending communication immediately can be the best option. Personally, safety should always come first.
I agree completely. In situations involving abuse or harmful behavior, individuals have every right to protect themselves. However, in ordinary dating situations where there is simply a lack of interest, respectful communication is generally the better approach. A simple message can make a huge difference by saying something like, "Thank you for our conversation, but I don't think we are the right match," provides closure while remaining respectful.
Exactly. Most people appreciate honestly, even if it's disappointing.
So, as we approach the end of our discussion, I'd like each of you to share one recommendation for reducing ghosting culture. How about you, Professor Kirtana?
So, my recommendation is to promote communication skills and emotional responsibility. People should learn how to express disinterest respectfully rather than avoiding difficult conversations.
Mira, how about you?
Well, I encourage people to remember that there is a real human being behind every profile. Treat online interaction with the same respect you would show in face-to-face situation.
Salwa?
I think honesty is important. A short explanation is usually better than complete silence.
And Kesa?
Personally, I think we should normalize respectful endings rather than normalizing ghosting. Healthy communication benefit everyone, whoever involved.
Thank you everyone for your valuable time. Today's discussion has shown that ghosting culture can be understood through the predicted outcome value perspective, where individuals assess the potential future outcome of a relationship before deciding whether to continue communication. However, while ghosting may seem like an easy solution, it often leaves the other person feeling confused, rejected, and emotionally distressed. Respectful communication, honesty, and empathy remain essential for building healthy online relationships. Thank you to Professor Kirtana, Mira, Salwa, and Kesa for participating, and thank you to our audience for listening. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.